everybody, welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to play the guitar solo from Dokken's Unchain the Night. Now a couple things I want to call out up front. First, your guitar needs to be tuned down 1/2 step, just like the original song. So E becomes E flat, A becomes A flat, D becomes D flat, etc. You know the drill. And then second, at the beginning as I was playing through the solo, you may have noticed that I put a little note on the screen saying, did Lynch, as in George Lynch, actually finger tap this section or part of the solo? I've seen it done both ways. I'm going to show you both ways, and then you can decide which one you think is best. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Section 1 goes like this. A few things I want to call out there. Obviously at the beginning when he does the, those are some really quick little jerky movements in there. George Lynch is known for that. Sometimes when I play his stuff I feel like I tense up a little bit, but try to relax when you do that. And also I want to call out the tabs that I provided. That's an approximation of how many times you hammer pull off. I didn't count it. You should not count it either. Don't sit there and go, oh wait, he hammers on what, 8 times, 7 times, whatever. Don't do that. Just feel it, okay? Okay? It's going to sound much better than if you try to calculate it out and count it. And then when he does the sliding up, the tabs make it almost look like I'm going like this. But that last movement from the 12th to the 16th fret on the G string is a fluid movement. And then once you get to that 16th fret, you hold it for just a tiny bit before you add the vibrato. The next section. I'm only laughing because I always laugh when I try to do that sideways vibrato thing. And I don't do it that great, admittedly. It's not something that a technique that I use in my own playing. It's something that George Lynch did quite a bit. Warren DeMartini is another one of my favorite guitar players that does that sideways. And a couple tips I have there for you. One, typically when you're fretting, right, you've got your finger kind of bent like that. When doing the sliding vibrato, try just flattening your finger. I've noticed Lynch and Warren DeMartini both doing that, right? For some reason it just makes it easier for me to do it that way, so that's how I would do it. And also the other tip is when you're doing that, try not to go farther up than where you started, that 9th fret of the G string. Try not to go further than that, try to go up to it. But just go with what feels right. Now for this next section, you'll notice at the beginning of the video I had that little question mark around whether or not George Lynch is doing some finger tapping. And I've seen people do it 2 different ways. One is not to finger tap at all, and just to do a repeating pattern like this. Right? The other way is to do finger taps like this. Okay? And you'll notice that when I do it, I alternate between picking that highest note, which is a B note, either picking it on the 7th fret of the E string or tapping it on the 12th fret of the B. Same note, just played at different locations. And the reason I alternate between the two, which again looks like this, I'll do it slowly. The reason I do that alternating is because when I listen to the original song and he's hitting that high note, that high B note, every other time he plays that note, it sounds either kind of crisp or a little bit duller, right? When you pick the note, it's going to sound different than when you tap it, right? The picking's going to have a little bit more of a crisp edge to it. Here, now we're going to listen to the original slowed down, that one section, and you'll hear how it alternates between being a crisp note and kind of a duller note. Now, again, that's why I'm assuming or guessing that Lynch might be finger tapping it every other time. You try it yourself and tell me what you think sounds the best. At the end of the day, given that people really will play it either way and they don't really know the difference anyway, I think you're going to be safe taking either approach, either tapping every note, picking every note, or alternating like me. But let me know down below in the comments section what you think the appropriate way is. The next part. Slowly, I'm going to play it next, and notice there's lots of pull-offs to open strings. Now, I'm not sure really what there is to explain there. If you can follow tabs, you should be able to pick that one out. Just don't forget at the end to do that little slide up. It's there, right? If you want to get it to sound exactly like the original, you want to make sure you get all the little inflections captured. The next section. A couple things I want to call out there with that first bend. When you bend up a full step, when you bring it back down, don't bring it back down all the way. Bring it down halfway, a half step down like this. Okay? And then you pick the note and bring it back up. Okay? All right? Then you have that rake up to the 12th fret of the E. And that last note, you want to hold it for just a little bit before you add the vibrato. The next section. All right, slowly. All right, that one, there's really not much to explain. It's just lots of fast hammer-ons and pull-offs. All right. I guess the only thing I want to call out there is that 15th fret bend. You don't have to bend it. You can do a half step or a quarter step. It's just a really quick little short bend before you do that last part. Now with that section, I think what's worth calling out is you'll notice that when I do the 14th fret G string to 12th fret pull off, okay, right here, it looks like I'm tabbing it like this. But that 14 to 12 pull off, it's really quick. Okay? You could probably just go. But again, if you slow down the original, you can hear that little inflection in the phrasing. Other than that, this one should be pretty easy to follow. Here it is slowly. Oh, the other thing I was going to call out is that 17th fret bend at the end. Remember earlier when we went down a half a step? It's the same kind of approach. So you bend up and then slowly go down halfway before the final two notes. And with that last note, in the original, he lets it ring and some feedback ensues. I'm recording all this through my Line 6 Helix, and one of the big shortcomings of that is you can't do those feedback tricks. Alright, that was my lesson on how to play the guitar solo from Dokken's Unchain The Night. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below and I will attempt to answer all as time allows. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, leave a thumbs up, all that stuff. And until next time, rock on.